So when I was diagnosed, I didn't know the difference between the two until I learned more about it and just had a bunch of education when I was in the hospital. So today I'm going to be talking about the differences between type 1 and type 2 and the causes of each. And I forgot to mention that only 5% of diabetics in the world are type 1, so it's a really small amount. So first we'll talk about type 1 diabetes. According to CDC.gov in 2018, when you're type 1 diabetic, you don't make any insulin, and we make a small amount. So it basically means there's part of your pancreas that doesn't make insulin, and if you don't have diabetes, that makes insulin for you. So there are different ways that you can get insulin into your system. So you can do it through a syringe, a pen needle, and an insulin pump. I've personally done all three, and I prefer the pump out of all of them. It's just personal preference. And then according to Science Direct 2006, like I said before, only 5 to 10% of diabetics in the world have type 1. So that's why right now there's not a cure for it. So there are people working on a cure, but it's not as far along as people want it to be. So now that I've talked about type 1, I'm going to go ahead and talk about type 2 diabetes. So type 2 diabetes is the complete opposite of type 1 diabetes. Your body still makes insulin, but not enough to help you get by, so you have to take medicine to help. According to diabetes.org, type 2 diabetes is generally onset by obesity and a sedentary lifestyle. I've people in my family that have type 2 diabetes, so I've learned about that before I learned about type 1 and what happens to them. And then according to Nature Review 2014, I think, there's a way to reverse type 2 diabetes once you get your better lifestyle. So once you start exercising regularly, take your medicine regularly, it can help reverse it and get rid of it. And now that I've talked about type 1 and type 2, I'm going to talk about the differences between the two. So type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease, and according to JDRF.org 2018, some of the symptoms include extreme thirst, frequent urination, extreme weight loss. I personally, when I was diagnosed, I experienced the thirst, the weight loss, and the urination. It's different for everyone. So some of them include ketones, which is high blood sugar, so you have a more fruity scent in your breath. And then according to New England Journal of Medicine 2001, type 2 diabetes is onset by a sedentary lifestyle, and some of the symptoms are the same, except the dryness of the mouth and the weight loss and urination as well. So they both have similar symptoms, but the diabetes of type 1 is more prevalent. And now that that is type 1, type 2, and the causes. If you want to learn more about them, diabetes.org has a tab for each type of diabetes, so you can learn about each one. There's a video on YouTube called Understanding Type 1 Diabetes by Nucleus Health, and then the CDC.gov is the Center for Disease Control, and you can learn about diabetes basics. So today I talked about type 1 and type 2, and what they are, and the differences between both of them.
All right, thank you.